Hello there, my name is Will and welcome along to lesson number 2 of our drum fill concept series. Today we're going to be looking at how we can use accents within our 4's and 3's concept. Now if you haven't seen lesson number 1 or you need a quick reminder, the concept for all of our drum fills in this series is that we're taking a bar of 16th notes and we're breaking it up into 4 chunks of 3 and 1 chunk of 4. So that means 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And today we're looking to see if we can add accents into that combination. Now an accent is when you hit a note louder than the rest of the notes. And if you've been playing single strokes and 16th notes, you've probably learned to play this on the downbeat. So if I show you on my pad here, when we play 16th notes, get that the right way around, when we play 16th notes with single strokes, first of all, we kind of just play them right, left, nice and evenly. But after a while, you probably learn and quite naturally start to gravitate towards playing an accent on what's known as the downbeat. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a... And then that's a really good example of an accent. We're striking the pad louder on the 1, 2, 3 and 4 of the 16th notes. However, our concept is that we're going to be breaking those 16th notes up into 4 groups of 3 and 1 group of 4. So we're going to do the same thing of accenting our notes, but rather than hitting every 4, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And every time you say 1 in that combination, you're going to try and hit the pad louder, or drum, whatever you're trying it on. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's really good if you can try and sing it along with the pad as you're playing it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And actually say those ones louder than the rest of the notes to go with what your hands are doing. Now it might feel quite strange the first time when you do this because your left hand perhaps isn't as used to accenting notes as your right hand. So you might need to overcompensate for your left hand with the accents when you first start to learn to play this. Now once we have that idea down, we're going to see if we can take it into our drum fills. And what we're going to first of all try and do is just place the accents on different toms around the kit. So all the right hand accents in this combination are going to go to the floor tom, and all the left hand accents are going to go to our first rack tom. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now once again, I must warn you to not fall deep into the triplet pit.
The triplet pit.
It's very easy when you're playing combinations of 3 within single strokes to start to sing and feel them as triplets. And instead of feeling it as 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a, you start to feel 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a bibbidi bobbidi bibbidi. We don't want that to happen. We want to stay in 16th notes. So make sure you keep on counting that combination of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or remember some of those word games we had in the last lesson of Chewbacca, 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 Princess Leia. Stay away from that pit. We don't want a Boba Fett situation on our hands. Back to our drum fill though, I'm going to show you a couple of times nice and slowly on its own, and then I'll play it alongside the groove. Should sound something like this. Now, it's very important when you're learning this drum fill that you think carefully about dynamics. Dynamics means when we're having the difference between something that's loud and something that's quiet. It's very easy once you have this combination down to play everything at the same volume. The toms kind of give you a bit of an easy out. So if I play this drum fill without any accents but in the same combination, it would sound like this. As opposed to if I have quieter notes on the snare and louder accents on the toms. It sounds quite different, yeah? So you have to be careful that when you're learning this combination, you don't just play everything still at the same volume. Remember, we're adding accents into this, so really try and bring those accents out, and that is made a lot easier if you keep the notes on the snare quieter. And in fact, this next example I'm going to show you is going to use the snare as well. We're going to see, instead of playing all with the right hands on the floor tom and all the left hands on the rack tom, we're going to put a bit of a combination. So I'm going to put the first accent on the snare drum, the second accent, which lands on the left hand, on the rack tom. Then I'm going to put the third accent onto the floor tom like it was before, and the fourth accent is going to be on the snare drum, and lastly the fifth accent, which is the one of your group of four, will be on the floor tom. So all in all, nice and slowly, you get this. Bit faster with the groove. Once you have that combination down, you can start to mess around with some more of the accents. Now I'm going to keep all my accents in the groups of 3 the same, but that last group of 4 I'm going to change. Rather than having 4 E and A and only accenting the first of those 4 notes, I'm going to go for it and accent all 4 of them, and I'm going to do all of that on the same drum. So now our drum fill combination is first accent snare drum, second accent rack tom, third accent floor tom, fourth accent snare drum, final 4 accents of our 4 E and A, all on the snare drum. Should sound something like this. And you could also try moving that 4 somewhere else. So we could perhaps play all 4 of those accents at the end on the floor tom as well. That would sound like this. Here's both ideas back to back with a drum beat. Now the next challenge, once you have that down, is to see perhaps if you can bring some of the crashes into it. And not only the crashes, but also the bass drum as well. So we're going to swap our accents. Instead of being on either the snare or the toms, this time we're going to see if we can play the crashes with the bass drum at the same time. So we're still using that combination of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, but we're going to see if when we hit that 1, we can do it with the crash and the bass drum at the same time. This one's quite a loud one. Should sound something like this. Now with that combination comes a new challenge, crashing with the left hand. We're so used to using the right hand for our crashing with our bass drum. When you have to do it with the left and the bass drum at the same time, it's a very peculiar kind of feeling. This feels really comfortable, this feels the complete opposite thing to do. Just takes a bit of practice to get that left hand working with that right foot properly. But once you do, it looks and sounds great. I'll do that again for you one more time, show you nice and slowly, and then I'll show you alongside a groove as we did before. Should sound something like this. Definitely a louder example of that last one. Okay, so we've tried it on the snare, we've tried it on the toms, we've tried it on the crashes. It's time to put all of these together to come up with one more example for today's lesson. So the accents are going to be broken up like this. The first right-handed accent is going to land on the crash. Then my second accent with my left hand is going to go to the rack tom. My third, the right hand, is going to go to the snare drum. And my fourth left hand is going to go to the crash. I'm then going to play the final 40-ander in big accents on the snare drum. So once again it goes crash, tom, snare, crash, 4 big ones. When you're not playing the crashes, try not to do the bass drum at the same time. If you've been practicing that combination with the bass drums and the crashes, quite naturally your bass drum's going to want to go wherever you accent. You only want to put the bass drum when you're accenting those crashes, because otherwise it's going to drown out the nice sound of your toms and your snare, and you don't want that. Okay, so nice and slowly to begin with, and then as always I'll show you alongside your groove. Should sound something like this. One final tweak though. I actually want to just take those 4 notes we played on the snare drum and move them around the kit. This is an idea I actually introduced in lesson 1, so if you haven't seen it, go and watch it because it's great. Instead of playing snare, 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 I want to change that to snare, tom, floor, floor. S-T-F-F, stuff. I'm going to play a bit of a stuff fill. Yes, great stuff. It works really nicely. Stuff. Give it a go. Everything else stays exactly the same. I'm playing crash, tom, snare, crash, and stuff at the end. Let's give it a go. Straight in, no messing about. Should sound something like this. Bit faster as well. Lovely stuff. I hope from watching the video today you've got a good idea of how you can use accents within your drum fills to make them sound more exciting. And don't forget that you can also try moving those hands around into different places to come up with your own drum fills as well. We've added to our 4's and 3's vocabulary, and be sure not to miss out on the next lesson by subscribing to the channel. And whilst you're there, if you could like this video as well, that would be fantastic. My name is Will. I hope you enjoyed yourselves today, and I'll see you again soon.